fucking.
Well, no, I mean, I was enjoying, like, I don't know if you've ever listened to the Well, There's Your Problem guys. They always cut in, like, partway through. Like,
Yeah.
And then, hey, by the way, we're recording. I don't know. I kind of like that vibe.
Yeah, how do we want to do this?
So I would figure just you introduce this is welcome to the Out of Pocket podcast. This is some guys talking about pool, mostly, maybe, probably.
We might talk
then
about
introduce
pool.
yourselves. Yeah.
We're gonna use the word balls.
Behind us
If you're easily offended, we will use the word balls. Please close now.
Hey, so on the stream, does it say Bad Boys TV backwards to you guys?
No.
No, it says it right.
Okay. Because I'll get up and flip it around. Fuck it.
Yeah, I put on my Bad Boys shirt.
Yeah.
Because on my screen, it's all backwards.
Yeah.
Which is
Really? No, on ours is perfect.
Maybe it's
Perfect.
your eyeballs and it's showing up right on the screen.
Could be.
Kenny?
Could be. I start seeing shit backwards. That's
Not how any of this works.
Yeah. I'm just
All
here
right,
to
so
throw
Koby, you're
dumb
the
shit in.
genius. So
Oh, fuck.
you introduced the show.
Hi. We're not going to do this pronoun shit, are we?
I don't think you have to. No,
No, you don't have to.
My name is Koby. My pronouns are hey, you, and yo.
Oh, Lord.
Are you recording now?
Yeah. So,
I'm Ken. That's the voice you hear now. Ken Jones.
I'm Ric Jones, bitch. Welcome to the show.
This is Mike G.
Mike
That's
D
world
in the
famous.
house.
That's world famous Mike D.
The world famous Mike D.
Not to be
We're gonna
confused with
call
that
this show
other. Not to be confused with that other Mike D that has a
Yep.
bigger head. Way bigger head.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't fit on the screen.
No. We don't
So
have
this
enough.
is Out of Pocket. This is the Bad Boys family.
This is
We
part of the
figured we'd
Bad
hop
Boys
in here
family.
and do this little show. Talk about stuff. It could be about pool.
Maybe.
Mostly about pool.
It could stray.
Oh, it will. Oh,
Did they pick the last USA guy yet for Mosconi Cup?
They have not. They have not. I think if Jeremy Jones is smart, which I think he's pretty sharp, dude.
I really think it's going to be Wolford.
I think he'll wait till the international tournament's over and pick then.
So here's my
See how all those
question.
guys do. Right now, I mean, basically what they're doing is everybody's going, well, pick this guy because he had one great tournament, or pick this guy because he had two good tournaments. But that person doesn't have a whole lot of history.
Right.
And then pick this guy, but this guy hasn't been playing as much. I mean, it's kind of out there.
Now, let me ask you this, though. At least from my way of looking at it, how could it not be Earl?
How could it not be Earl?
Yeah.
Well, look here. So for me,
He was supposed to play last time, right?
yeah, he was there last time, and then he got bumped because of COVID, right?
Did
Yeah.
he? But did
Okay,
he?
so let me ask you this.
No, let me ask you this.
Why the hell is the team that won it not exactly the same the next year?
There's only so many spots, man. You gotta switch it around. If it was gambling, you definitely gotta stay with the same team. But it's not gambling. It's not really. It's different
for
than
the
that.
winners. I mean, I still have my ass burned about Tyler Steyer not making the team, and then they put in
Chris.
what's his name? Yeah, they put in Chris. No disrespect, but I mean, to me, Tyler didn't do anything to not be on that team, and they won the 2 years he played.
I don't know.
Right.
I think it's...
And then they take him off the team, and they lose. Now, I'm not saying that it was because of him, but the reality, there could be a great argument, and of course, we were supposed to go a whole different way, but there could be a great argument that the first year Tyler Steyer played for Team USA, he should have been co-MVP with Skylar Woodward. Because Tyler went in there and won a match that nobody thought he could win, and he held his own. And I think he pumped the team up.
Well, he
they
was
were
working.
like, oh shit, we want to
He was
supposed to
working
win.
the
Didn't he have a couple
crowd,
misses
too.
at the end? Didn't he have a
did
couple
have
misses at the end?
Yeah, at the end, but dude, they wouldn't even have, I mean, the year before they got their asses handed to him. He goes in there and he won a match. He won his first match, played very strong. He made a couple of great shots over those 2 days. You could tell that the team pumped up when he won his first match.
I agree.
Yeah.
I just think there was a point where he was heading to be MVP. I agree with that. But then he missed a couple shots, and that's not any casting just aspersions on the guy. I've missed a couple shots myself. It's okay. But I mean,
Sure,
I remember watching that. He was heading for
I'm
the
just
MVP,
saying,
but then he bobbled a couple.
I'm just saying, if you're going to define an MVP, it's the most valuable player. And the whole world was like, oh, Tyler shouldn't even be on the team.
Yeah, I
And
don't
then he
agree with
goes
that.
in there on day one. He wins his first game where everybody plays one game, right? He won that game. And then he went in and played his first match and won that. And then Team USA everybody had hope. To me, if he's the guy that shouldn't have been on the team, he's just wasn't good enough. I think he's the most valuable player because basically you got a no-name who came in and played great and pumped up the
He
team.
did come in and play great, and he had some big matches. I agree.
Yeah, I think he should have at least been co-MVP.
Yeah.
Well,
Just my opinion.
It shouldn't be all performance based. I mean, part of being MVP is also, I don't know, being more teammate too, hyping the crowd. There's a lot more to it.
Kind of stuff,
Look at Tyler Starr when Filler said he was the new king or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And Tyler Starr jumped in his interview and he's like, "That's disrespectful. You ain't the king."
Yeah.
Yeah. Shane's the king, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he pumped up Team USA.
I mean,
to me, he was the most.
At
least he should have got co-MVP.
Yeah, because he sort of set the mood for the rest of the tournament with that attitude, and that's a confidence boost. I mean, feed a little bit of arrogance to the rest of the team, and it changes everybody's mentality.
Yep.
And I haven't seen that since then.
Kenny's like, we're just, guys.
I'm gonna need to make notes before the episodes to like focus you guys in because that was a wild ride from like where we were gonna go to where we went.
Hold on. So, y'all ready for me to start recording now?
Yeah.
And start.
So we definitely got to make this good and work on the Patreon stuff. People can send us some money so we can buy a little button that Kenny can push over here that goes, no, you're off subject.
Yeah. And all it does is mute your mic.
You guys back in.
All it's going to do is mute your mic.
Yeah. Hey, well, yeah. We're going to need a lot of Patreon fans for that. Get that kind of technology.
I mean,
we could go old school and get a sand timer, and Kenny can turn the timer over every time we change subjects.
Yeah. And like, I'm not done talking about this, and just lay it sideways.
So you're definitely going to have to get this episode out to the public before the Mosconi Cup.
Yeah.
Now that we've dated this episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Now.
And then when you do put them up, Koby, label them whatever we decide to title it, but then do episode 1.
Right.
The next one do episode 2 so they're numbered, so it'd be easy for us to.
Anyway.
Hey, as long as that's where we're at,
are you really
I'd
telling
like to
me how to be
politely talk about
organized?
Greg Hogue. Is it Greg? Is it Ho or Hogue?
Hogue.
I'd like to talk about Greg Hogue and his bid for a Mosconi Cup spot.
Can we do
in
it
a polite fashion?
Can we do it with some respect?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
So I can too. So
Okay.
this episode we're going to talk about Mosconi Cup, and then we'll do another one and we'll talk about intro.
Cup.
So let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Right on.
All right.
Right on.
Fire it up, Mike.
I'm just curious. I mean, I've never seen a player do this level of marketing or be involved in this level of marketing to get on the team, and he's had a lot of grassroots support too. So I don't want to suggest it's him doing it all. He's got the Red Door Den Training Center Facebook, which is fairly popular.
You said that way
I
too
respect
fast.
where he's coming from. I don't have any disrespect for Greg. My issue would be, you at least going Fargo based. I'm not sure he's not in the top 100 players in the United States, is he?
I don't know.
He might be in the top 100, but if he is, I mean, he's not even a 700 Fargo right now, is he? I think he's
so let's stick with that. He's not a 700 Fargo. So I mean, no offense to him at all, but I mean, it's not Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's not that kind of a setup. And again, I respect what he's doing, but I've been a little thrown off by the support. And when I see Europeans supporting him, no offense to the Europeans that I've seen support him, Mark White, Darren Appleton, I have to question: is that a sincere wanting to see this guy on the team, or is there a little bit of snickering going on? He's not a 700. How could it be a real conversation for him to be on the team? Well, I'm in Oregon, and we have Chris Byers and Steve Lingelbach, two guys alone that have higher Fargo and play better.
Yeah, hell, James DeVee, he's in Washington. He's a 714.
Right. James DeVee's a great example.
Yeah.
I remember Rick, do you remember when they were doing Mosconi Cup points for bar table action, and you get Mosconi points for playing at the bar table championship and for Chinook wins? This was 6 years ago, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
well, when that was happening, at the very beginning of that, because I went to the bar table championships and Western BCA, I had some Mosconi Cup points. And because it was so early in the running, I was in the running.
Right.
But I recognized that was ridiculous, and that I certainly was not going to be on the team. So I feel like I've almost been in a similar situation too, in a weird way, where I recognize that was not what would be best for the team. So I don't know. I've just been thrown off a little bit by the whole thing.
Well, yeah. So my issues would be, I don't like the point system because the tournaments aren't consistent enough. And then what happens to a guy that can't make it to this tournament or that tournament? You know, it's not like the country is making sure all these players are getting to all the tournaments.
Right.
You know, a point system would work just fine if there was a minimum pay that you got to go to these tournaments, that you could sustain a life, you know, feed yourself, house yourself. But sometimes some of these tournaments, it's like you just go, I can't go to that one because I'm on the other side of the country and I just played in this one. And if, I don't know how to touch the subject without hurting somebody's feelings.
Yeah.
But life is reality.
Yeah.
Greg Hogue had one great tournament, which gave him a bunch of points and got his hopes up. And that's great. Having hopes up is a good thing.
And he beat Omar. But
that's the second tournament.
So
I just want to give him credit for he beat Omar. I just want to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
This is not a I hate Greg thing. I like Greg. It's okay.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that, you know, I hate it when they go, oh, okay, he beat Omar, so he should have a shot. Okay, well, then shouldn't Tommy Tokoff have a shot? He beat Greg Hogue. Right? I mean, how does that end? When, you know, and because you have one great tournament or two great tournaments. I look at consistency. You're not going to show up the Mosconi Cup, and because you had one great tournament, doesn't mean you're going to do anything, right?
Of course.
It's just and I don't. Yeah, see, I can get into so much trouble here.
Yeah,
because
let's not.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Greg get free tickets for Mosconi. He'd be great in the audience. There's ways that they could still keep him involved because he's been so popular. That would be very nice. That if they truly care and truly don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and you know, if that's how they really feel about Greg and they're not snickering, then Greg should be getting some free tickets pretty soon, and I'm sure we'll see him there.
And not even that, but why not?
No, that's not about it.
If we don't think he's quite to that level or not ready for it, if the mere fact that he's in the running, so to speak, I mean, he should be sort of trying out with the team, practicing with the team, and maybe being around that level, it helps him come up to that level. I mean, that's
right, and they're not even doing that. I mean, Tyler Steyer is 10 times the player he was before Mosconi Cup.
Right.
Now he was young and coming.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But
that's a fact. I think it's almost like the way they got this shit set up right now. There's no team camaraderie.
No.
There's no, hey, hang out with each other at tournaments.
Well, see, when Johan was the coach, the way I understood it, when Johan was the coach, that they did get together as a team long before the Cup, and they traveled as a team, and
right. I mean, what, 2.5 weeks out from the Cup, and we don't even know who the team is.
Yeah, I mean, and then we're expecting to win. I mean, half these people have never played with each other, and I mean, of course, at their level, it shouldn't matter.
You're building a collection of.
Yeah. Well, and that's that's because they've done it this way. I look at the International Open right now that's happening right now, and Greg Hogue got beat. He hurt his back or something. He got beat 1-2.
I saw that. Yeah.
Now, you could look at that and go, well, his neck was on the line for this Mosconi Cup. This may have been too much for him, right? Because he hadn't been picked.
Yeah, but he didn't get steamrolled, though. I mean,
I would love to see, though, what would have happened if they would have said, yeah, dude, you're on the team.
Yeah.
Would he have played totally different? Or did the pressure of not knowing and all his hopes and dreams were on that tournament?
Yeah, like
left down to that one.
Yeah.
Like he's a lot of pressure.
After a certain point, you're trying too hard. And it kind of is detrimental because you're trying so hard.
Right.
I guess I'm just stuck on the straight up. If you're below 700, you're not on the team. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That I tell my grandma that, you know what I mean? I don't care who it is. My son can't be on the team. You got to be a 700 or above to be on the team, man. There's no real conversation worth having after that, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
It's too bad there's not a better system for picking players, but
Right.
Right. No, and I agree. I mean, I believe I don't know. Somebody could fact check me, but I think Tyler Steyer was over 700 when they picked him.
Right. And just like you said, Tyler's game picked up after his first appearance, and that's all Tyler put the work in for that to happen. And I don't think anybody out there's questioning that if Greg was given the chance and didn't get the performance he wanted, I think he's got the work ethic to get his game to that point. He just, at this point, he hadn't had enough time to put in that much work yet. But it's not saying that he'll never be able to. It's just saying you're not quite there yet.
Right. Well, and they're not. That's the problem with the American pool, is these guys are all on their own.
Right.
We're not doing, when there are opportunities to go, hey, let's pull these guys, like what Johan was doing, or however you say it. He was getting these guys and teaching them things and having them work and go and do some exhibitions and stuff as a team. I mean, the European, if you go to all the tournaments, like you go to Derby is a great example. Jason Shaw, Chris Melling, Darren Appleton, all those guys hang out together.
Yep.
Look at you can say whatever you want to say. Well, I think Billy Thorpe played pretty good. Skylar Woodward, those two hung out together.
Oh yeah.
Justin Bergman and Justin Hall hung out together, and when they played at Mosconi Cup together, they were great to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
You could tell those two had something going, right? It's like Justin Hall went up and said, hey, something, and they were playing doubles, and Justin Bergman's like, just don't hook me. He goes, oh, no problem. I'm not going to hook you. It makes a fantastic shot. Comes around the corner, leaves Justin Bergman a perfect shot. It's just, you could tell the vibe was there.
Yeah.
And sometimes these other guys, it's like, there just doesn't seem to be almost like they're frustrating each other when they're playing.
Well, and I'd like to see it where they can't talk to each other. I mean, you should be given a timeout if you need to discuss a certain situation, but at your guys' level, you shouldn't have to talk every shot. I mean, shoot your game. If you shoot where you can make the ball, your partner at his level should be able to make that same shot.
Oh, I kind of like the talking.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say I actually kind of enjoy the talking.
I like the talking.
No,
I like it because I'd walk up and be like, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah, if it was that kind of talking, it'd be one thing instead of.
But that's what I'm saying is these guys aren't. They're not gelling together or family enough.
Right. Instead of every shot going, where do you want me to leave you? You know, like
I promise you, I'll flip him shit.
Like, don't worry about where he wants you to leave him. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't like the way they pick the teams right now, and I don't like the way they handle it.
Down on the talking.
Yeah. What?
Who?
Mike D.
Oh, he's all quiet over there. What's your opinion? Kenny wants to know what you think about the two players talking.
I don't like player meetings, but on the same hand, I've always had a thing, and this comes more from gambling, okay, where this is America, and I can talk to anybody I fucking want. And if I posted up the dough, I'll talk to anybody I fucking want, man. I mean, I'm sorry to be so blunt, but seriously, if somebody, again, this is gambling, not tournament. If you think you're making a rule that says I can't talk to anybody, you don't know who you're talking to right now, man. I'll talk to my partner anytime. Now, you want to say no team meetings? You want to say I'm tired of seeing you guys huddle up like you're playing football? Oh, I get that. But I'm definitely going to say, hey, play safe, dummy. You know, I'll say anything I want, man.
Yeah. The pace of the game, then knock it off.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that.
But you guys know me, I think and talk quick. So I don't want to have a team meeting. I just want to say, oh my God, make it. What are you going to do?
Right.
Play safe.
But I absolutely want them all mic'd at the Mosconi Cup.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I do too. I do too. Yes.
I want all mic'd. Like I want when Shane's at the table and Skylar Woodward goes up and says, hey, shoot this, and Jason Shaw and Darren Appleton are over in the corner. And Jason Shaw goes, I don't know why those two dumbasses are talking to each other. All you got to do is I want to hear it all. Right? That's, to me, that's what the Mosconi Cup should be. And if they don't do it, y'all join our Patreon, kick in some money. Maybe we'll do a bar table tournament like that where we mic the players on the TV table.
And if we're going to do that,
that'd be cool, man.
Then we should allow the other team should be able to say it just like in poker where America's playing and Shaw goes, if you don't shoot that right, I'm going to have your ass. And y'all are already down enough as it is. If we're going to talk, let's actually make it interesting. Yeah, let's make it interesting.
Yeah, ring game style, just mad shit talk.
Back in the early days of Derby City, they were doing ring games. I so wanted to mic the players, man. When you had Grady Matthews and
I bet
Frost and Keith McCready and all the greatest gambling shit talkers on the planet. Yeah. How do you not put them in there with the technology and go, all right, you guys get to shit talk each other. We're going to make a DVD. We're going to sell it. And then we're going to kick 10,000 to the best shit talker. We'll have the people vote. To me, that would be awesome.
When it's a shame that we didn't get a chance to do that for historical purposes too, because that would have been.
Man. I mean, Mattia and those guys. Oh my God, dude! Those guys were hilarious.
Some of the funniest stuff I've heard has been during ring games, man, because that's everybody's happy, everybody's having a good time. It's a fun gamble. It's truly a fun way to gamble. And everybody gets into talking shit, man. You get a lot of funny stuff from ring games, man.
Oh yeah, the comic value alone.
Right.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna bring this up because just my thought process. Y'all brought up the Earl thing. I always kind of saw last year's Earl pick as just selling tickets. I mean, it wasn't a surprise for me at all when they didn't get to play.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I'm reading a lot into it because it's easy to do that, but it's real convenient.
But I think after that deal, I think why is there not a sub on both teams?
Right.
Well, I think that too. But I was going to say, just picking Earl, given what was going on in the world at the time, it kind of felt like Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna make it all the way there to play. Like,
Or
I felt kind of odd.
Or was that an attack against Earl by Matchroom? We get him out of his comfort zone to get him out in the world.
I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like you're stretching there. But.
There's so many possibilities in that whole. Yeah, I mean,
they should have subs now, though. Yeah, I don't know why you don't have one old.
I thought when Johan was our coach that we did have a sub, because wasn't there a deal where Corey was the alternate and he had to step in here a few years ago?
Oh, maybe.
I think so. Yeah,
like Bergman didn't make his flight, or somebody missed a flight or something, and Corey had to step in.
Huh. Interesting.
I can't remember the details.
I just want to say, if I'm the coach of Team USA, and I've asked Earl to be on the team, and Earl ends up not being able to be on the team because of the test, because of a COVID test, which isn't missing a flight, which isn't anything that has anything to do with Earl. I mean, other than, I don't know if he wore a mask, but let's not get into that. He ended up with COVID. You know what I mean?
Right.
The thing I would tell Earl is next year, you're my first pick, Earl. You're on the team next year. This was not your fault. I know you wanted to play. Next year, you're my first pick. I've told players, like right now as the Northwest coach, there might be players that I wasn't able to put on this team that I promised next year you're on the team, man. There just wasn't room. You know, that's part of recruiting, you know. Anyway, to me, Earl should be on. If Earl was on the team last time and didn't get to play because of a shot, he should have been the first pick for this team. I really believe that.
My only argument is, last year he was playing a lot. So he was more in stroke. And this year, you know, he really hadn't played. I mean, he's attended a bunch of tournaments, but you didn't see as much activity this year from him as last year. It's been more exhibition matches, stuff like that.
Right,
so he was in great form last year.
Well, when you take that mentality, right, you're saying, well, hey, he made the team last year, but he couldn't play because of unforeseen circumstances. Yeah. And I think you have to lean into, okay, look, you guys played, you won the Mosconi Cup. You're the same team next year until you're beat. You know, I mean, I have a hard time watching players get bumped from the team that didn't do anything to get bumped. And the player coming in didn't really do anything fantastic to come in. It's just, to me, it's like, I don't know. I don't like it personally.
It's almost
I think
like
if you're playing you go win that thing, I think you should play on that team until they can beat you.
I do feel like it makes it less of a team thing again with the whole picking players. Yeah, you're not building.
How do we know that it's not political? How do we know? I don't know, dude. I think there's just so many problems with the way they're doing it right now.
Well, I mean, I think there is a certain level of politics involved in it. I mean, just look at all the hype we've got going around the discussion right now. I mean,
right.
You know, if it was clear, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
I think my bigger fear is what I'm seeing in billiards in general, which is my concern is it going to start being sponsorship based, where if you play for the wrong cue company, as an example, you don't get to play in the Mosconi Cup.
Right.
You know, I feel like we're starting to see things divide up a little bit in the billiard industry. I would hate that to affect everything, including who gets picked for Mosconi, you know.
Well, I'm going to take Team Q-Tech.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to see it become a popularity contest either.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want players...
Which is my Greg Hogue issue. Right, exactly.
You know, I mean, because then, hey, I don't got time to play pool. I got to go build my followers.
Right. But, you know, when they brought Chris in the first year, I could have sworn in some of the interviews with Jeremy, it was, we brought him in this year to get him up to the level. You know, we know he's kind of lacking a little bit of experience, and that's why we brought him in as an up-and-comer, because we need a future. Now, granted, age difference-wise, he's a lot younger than Greg, but, I mean, can that argument be thrown in? Do they pick Greg and say, well, he has kind of raised a lot of eyebrows, so we're going to bring him in. He may not do good this year, but if that brings him up to a level, and then see what his performance is next year, and let that decide whether he's ever in the running for it again.
Koby, what state are you from, you son of a bitch?
I don't know. It's too dark to
what
tell.
What state are you sitting in right now, you sucker?
I'm in Oklahoma.
Hey, listen, it's generally understood that a pro pool player starts at 725.
Right.
I'm sorry, if you ain't 725, you ain't playing on the Mosconi Cup team. That's
I mean, I agree with that. Other than if we're gonna pull that rule, it should have been a rule from the get go, and it hasn't been. So if we wait,
I feel like there's like main arguments here.
It's like we've tried to look every other excuse to keep you from getting on, and none of those have worked. So now we're just gonna say, "Oh, sorry, buddy, your number's not big enough."
So
well, I guess okay, but wasn't Chris's number 720 something when they put Chris on?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, when it comes to Mosconi Cup, I don't look at Fargo's. I mean,
the guy, dude. I'm like, I don't think Tyler should have got bumped, especially they replaced him with Chris Robinson, who those two had battled out, and I think Tyler had beat him two out of three long races. Right? They battled up against each other gambling that year. And Tyler doesn't make the team. Now, you guys saying, hey, you got to be at least a 720 or 725 to be on the team. I like that. And I also like the idea of we should figure out a way to have a junior Mosconi Cup team.
Of course,
you got guys Ashton and what's the guy that just shot the wrong ball against Shane?
Joey Tate.
Those guys are young, dude, and they're going to be Mosconi Cup good in the next year or two.
Yeah,
right.
I think like 16 or 17.
Yeah,
Adrian Prasad. I think he's 730, 740 now.
Yeah, Adrian Prasad just won at Hard Times here. Was it last weekend? Over the weekend,
right?
So,
I think we should be doing something to develop those guys.
I agree. I agree.
Right.
I think the Mosconi Cup format is so cool. I'm surprised they're not doing it more. People keep asking how come other countries aren't involved in stuff. The answer really is there should be 19 versions of the Mosconi Cup. You know what I mean? Everybody should have their own thing going on right now,
Yeah. All they got to do is put in their own
idea.
Can make it happen.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the King's Cup?
No.
That's good.
Well, give us some insight.
You're gonna fill me in.
I'd have to see. I just remember it was filmed really good. That it's done really well.
What is
I'd have to Google it though.
Oh, you don't even know what it is?
You just know it's good.
Forget I brought it up. I've seen it on TV before, but I don't really know much about the format.
All right, we're gonna edit this part out.
Thank you, Koby.
You just edit in like it explains what it is right in the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
King's Cup.
Yeah.
Means this.
This is what he's talking about.
It's gonna be whatever this is. Yeah.
Look at
to a fourth screen.
Yeah.
We'll have the details in the description.
Oh, God, more work.
Yeah.
So this has been the.
I know, right? We still got 2.5 weeks. Material's gonna be great.
Who saw Shaw's post about the racking?
Oh, I didn't. What did he say?
Yeah, I know you saw because you commented on it.
I did not.
So for the International Open, apparently the referees are racking and they're using, I have to assume, the AccuRack. And yeah, they can't, they're just taking forever. Like Shaw said, the refs were taking like 5 to 8 minutes. They weren't racking right. So with the rack you use a derby. And you put all the balls in there, and then the rack on it says load it up and then push them up, right? And they'll lock up
to load it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently the referees don't know that, so they're not doing it. And there's Donnie Mills was having a cow about being shit racked, and Jason Shaw, and he said they were taking like 5 to 8 minutes, and yeah, unfortunately, I don't. Whoever the ref staff is there is not prepared, or can't read the rack that says load them in here and push it up, because as long as you're doing that, it works pretty good. Unless it's
honestly, the acting rack is my favorite template rack.
Yeah,
I like that I can write my name on it.
Yeah.
My philosophy is if nobody at League wants to steal Mike D's magic rack, and if they find it, they give it back to Mike D. But everybody is also thrilled to find a random magic rack that they get to put in their case. Yeah. But as soon as you put your name on it, nobody's trying to steal your stuff. If they know whose it is, they're totally going to give it back. But that same person with no name is thrilled. They just got them a $15 magic rack, you know?
Yeah. In all fairness, everybody's afraid to insult the world famous Mike D.
That's true.
So you got a little added bonus there.
People are good. People don't want to steal your stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
but they like finding free stuff.
The template racks, I think, are great for pool, honestly. But you gotta know how to use them.
Right, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, it's not rocket science.
Everybody should get the same. I like that.
I do like that.
Anybody that knows pool. Well, let me put it this way. Anybody that's at least a 550 or higher Fargo rating knows how to shit rack somebody.
Yeah.
You know some angle. Somebody taught you something along the way.
Yep.
You know. I mean, I know there's a guy that wrote a book, I can't think of his name, about racking. And he claims he put it out there so you could spot people cheating racking. But everybody else, okay, this is how you cheat rack.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
a bunch of stuff on YouTube, too.
Well, 20 years ago, is what I can't remember the guy's names, but he had a Racking Secrets DVD that was super popular, and it went over the same details.
Probably the same guy.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Somebody should find that and put it in the notes.
Yeah, it'll be up here again. Damn it.
In the description.
Yeah.
More work to do. That's funny.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Another Mosconi stuff. Doing Mosconi.
Well, I'm just mind boggled why they haven't picked.
You know, I don't remember.
November 30th.
I don't remember who it was. It might have been
November what?
30th, I think. It's at the end of the
close.
Yeah, I mean we're only 3.5 weeks out, and they haven't picked the last player.
Yeah, that's weird.
Have they not? Now, have they not picked it, or have they just not announced it? You really think they'd wait this long? I mean,
you think the guy that gets picked could be quiet?
I don't know.
Depends on who.
Well, I know. I know if one guy was picked, there's no way in hell it would be a secret.
There's no way it's Greg Hogue.
That's funny, Koby.
If they picked it and that person knows it's not Greg Hogue.
Yeah.
Because there's no way he could be quiet.
Right.
I'd be at the top of the world preaching everybody.
Yeah.
I doubt if it's Earl, because I've seen him already put up a couple of posts going, "Hey, put me on the team." I think it was today. He was at 266 balls in a straight pool thing.
Wow.
Still, right.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know who could be told, yeah, dude, you're on the team, but don't say nothing.
Now,
for a couple more weeks.
With that said, has Shane Wolford been active on social media at all lately? Because, he's in the running, and I haven't seen him make any posts. Of course, I'm not even sure I have him on. But in all the regular pages, I haven't seen anything from Shane.
I don't remember seeing much from him ever. So
maybe he's just a quiet individual.
I think the last pick definitely knows he's been picked because he's got a plan for it. He can't, 3 weeks is not enough. Also practice-wise, I definitely think the guy's been picked. I think Greg has been gently informed he's not going to make the team.
Right.
And everybody else probably doesn't know what's happening. But
Yeah.
I bet you Greg has been gently told he's not making the team. And I guarantee the guy that did make the team knows it.
Right.
Yeah.
So who's your pick?
Earl.
Earl's your pick?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I'd like to see Earl. Just nostalgia
Really?
reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Rick, I'm not saying he's the best to be on the team. I'm just saying he was supposed to be on last year. He gets on this year.
I'm not disputing your reasoning.
How about you? Who do you pick?
I like Josh Roberts, dude. I just Josh
I
Roberts.
hadn't even thought about
Oh, all right.
that.
Josh Roberts is great.
Yeah.
Dude, he's such a smooth, cool character.
I do like Josh Roberts.
I want to see that personality just because I don't know if any of you guys ever watched him play. And he probably does.
I've been around him, yeah.
But
No, because somebody always has us working.
but he's so smooth and relaxed and calm, but you can see a lot of expression in his face without him saying anything. I like him, dude. He's just smooth, and he's smooth on the table too.
Right.
He's a nice guy, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
he's
a
a nice dude.
personality that we don't see,
Yep.
right?
And he's been grinding for a long time, man.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. But I mean, if Mosconi Cup has got that we need the storyline or the popularity thing of what everybody's crying for, then a guy like Josh Roberts would probably never make it.
Right.
And I don't know what Fargo is. Can you look?
I don't have that handy.
I think he's in the 730, 740 range.
He is a strong player. For sure. He's fun to watch.
But yeah.
No, I think that's a good pick, Rick.
Tony Chohan too.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that I think are deserving of the opportunity.
And Josh Roberts is 779. According to
Holy shit.
Fargo's app.
Pick him.
779.
That's what it
Yeah,
says.
just keep your hand up there, dude. Hey, what is Earl's Fargo? Just out of curiosity.
Does Fargo go back that far?
To Earl Strickland? Yeah, dude, he's in there. Come on. Go back that far. Well, they only go back when it was Ivory. When it was Rock, they not so much.
774.
Right.
I mean, come on, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the funny thing is, dude, is Josh Roberts wasn't even in the conversation.
I haven't seen like official in the running conversations, but I've seen a lot of people bring up Josh Roberts in conversations. Yeah.
Well, I got him up like 3 or 4 times just because I think he deserves a shot.
Yeah. But the way they've got it set where Josh didn't play those tournaments, so they've got it where he may not ever be in consideration, and it's stupid.
Who did the points work for?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, but that's what I'm saying though. They have a point system. Who did the point system work for? Who got on the team based on points alone?
I don't know.
Couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
It wasn't.
Like
I thought it was money
publishing this
earnings.
everybody here.
I thought it was money earnings, and Oscar was the one that locked himself in based off that.
Well, what do they count the money from? Tournaments
know.
or?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
That would be a good question to ask someone.
Same money paid out at every tournament?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
don't all those things make a world of difference?
Yeah, I think
course.
it should be once you enter a tournament, you should get some sort of points value just because you're showing up, and then you get more points or whatever based off how you placed. Because, Wolford has done a lot of traveling. He's played, he went and played Euro tournaments and stuff. So, are they going to take that in consideration? Or is it possible where you can play just the 2 or 3 tournaments that are stateside. And if you do really good in those, it doesn't matter what you do with all the others. It's not clearly defined, you know.
Yeah, math is on that.
Right. I mean, if it's just points, it's just points. And
see, if I knew we were doing a Mosconi episode, I would have looked and seen a actual answer first.
Yeah, but that's a cool thing is we don't want it to be too accurate. I mean, it takes the fun out of the conversation. But
that's
you know,
true.
and
but I mean, it's clearly not obvious enough that like we're all kind of in the industry and don't really know, right? Like it's not.
Yeah.
It's not accessible, so
right. I mean, it's not a. It's another one of those. It's not a trade secret. Why is it secret? Like put it out there. We should have a page that we can go to at any point throughout the year and see what the damn standings are. I mean, right now, if you want to look at the money standings, you go to AZ because they're keeping track of it themselves.
Right. So, but what is on Matchroom's website?
Matchroom has a website?
The
only website I'm worried about right now is ours.
yeah. I'm just saying, I mean, the points thing, maybe one player or two players, got points, and then there's 2 captain picks, and I mean, to me, I don't know.
And you're just kind of throwing together a team, not building a team, too.
Well,
and they're late. It's just kind of, I hate it.
And here's my deal. I mean,
I love the tournament. I hate the way they're picking the teams.
Here's my deal, and I know it's going to sound like I'm still pro Hogue because I'm from Oklahoma, but he did bring up a valid point that, if the Sandcastle tournament was supposed to be a Matchroom event, and then somehow it sounds like they're not taking that into consideration for points or whatever, how many vials of fairy dust he collected during the tournament or whatever, that's a little bit on the shady side. I mean, I agree with him. If it was supposed to be, it doesn't matter.
Are you telling me that Greg Hogue had enough points at one tournament that it would put him on the team?
No, I'm not saying.
I mean,
it really put him. That tournament is what put him into the consideration for all of this, because at the time.
But I mean, that's one tournament.
Right. Yeah. But now it sounded like that. Whatever finishing points, money, all that stuff. Now they're not taking any of that in consideration. That's what they're making it sound like.
Well, that's what he's making it sound like.
Well, I've seen it on multiple places, not just from him.
I don't understand how one tournament could give you enough points to put you in, though. So, I mean, how would they know if they're not considering those points?
Well, it was.
I mean, can you get on Matchroom and does it show points per player? Or?
I don't know. A few months ago, everybody was under the understanding that we're going to take based off money winnings from Matchroom events. And out of the top 5 Americans that have finished in Matchroom events, he was number 5. And he'd only won under 10 grand. I mean, and that's what put him into that. Up to that point. And that's how this avalanche sort of started, was that.
Sure. Up to that point, but then there was stuff that happened after that. I mean,
right.
And understand that tournament at Sandcastle, they didn't add the money that they were advertising or something. Something happened with the money and they didn't put much in.
Right. So maybe then now they've changed the amount that he got and it dropped him out of the running. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I'm not sure he stayed. So all the conversation about Greg Hogue was started like 2 months ago, right?
No,
a month and a half
ago.
It's been
going on longer than that.
Okay, but like 3 or 4 other tournaments have happened since then.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he wasn't in the top 5 at that point.
Maybe.
And that's why he get an automatic in, because didn't they announce Shane first? And then because in the Worlds, obviously, and then Wasn't it Skylar?
Yeah.
And then
Oscar.
Was Oscar was the third one.
Yeah.
Made points.
Right.
Or money winnings.
Right. Those are
so
the three
he clearly
right.
Greg Hogue. And then the last two, weren't the last two supposed to be captain picks?
Yeah.
Or was it just the last one?
I'm looking at it right
Yeah,
here.
he's looking it up, but
well, kind of.
I think the last two were captain picks because they picked Steyer.
Yeah. Hold on. Blah 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 blah.
Kenny's looking. But
I just read it here.
Yeah, I mean, if they're wild card picks, then obviously once you get. So I have to assume that the first three were picked on points, and Greg didn't make it in the top three.
Right.
Yeah, both Europe and the USA will then have 2 wild card picks each, as selected by the 2 respective captains.
Right. So any complaining about his points or money winnings is irrelevant.
Right.
Because they only picked the top 3 that way, and then the last 2 are captain picks. So clearly, the last 2 they didn't want picked just solely off of.
So
and see,
if you entered enough, right?
And that clears everything up.
Country. It's kind of not fair that one guy can manage to make it to all the tournaments, I guess.
All right, so
and outpoint the other guy.
The actual answer: the top player from each team from the Live 9-Ball World Rankings will be selected after the conclusion of 2022. So, however they're ranking, which appears to be by payouts, and then the next 2.
Does it show a list of payouts?
Yeah, it does up there. The further 2 players for each team will then be taken off the Live 9-Ball World Rankings after the conclusion. So then 2 more are selected off of the ranking list, which I guess could be anyone on their list. And then here's their payout.
Yeah, that's for 2023.
Well, yeah, but I'm just
right. So their money earnings don't even go in effect till next year.
I'm not entirely sure.
That's kind of what it looks like because we haven't had anything for 2023.
This might be they might start showing next year's already.
Right.
But yeah, so it looks like the first place or whoever's on top of the money rankings, however they choose to calculate that, then 2 for each team from somewhere on that list, and then 2 wild cards, which I guess can be anyone, is what it sounds like, based on how I skimmed that. I mean, again, if I knew we were doing the Mosconi episode first, I'd done notes.
Well, you know,
y'all killing me.
How long we been at it there, Koby?
58 minutes.
Ooh,
but I gotta cut.
Right on time.
I gotta cut some of the intro out. So.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have to have
to
do some editing.
We probably need to go a little long, just so we.
So what other Mosconi stuff do we got?
I think.
I say we might.
I would love to see somebody or everybody or GoFundMe and do something for the juniors because we got some mad talent out there right now.
Yeah, a junior Mosconi Cup would be a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah,
it would be.
I've seen
that would be.
I've seen other conversations where people saying that they should make it where each Mosconi team had to have 1 female player. What do y'all think about that?
Why? I'm torn because.
I mean, I'd like to see women make the team, but also I kind of don't care. Like I'm the whole gender abolition, like gender and pool. I don't care. You all play based on skill, but also representation is nice. So
yeah, well, I'm with Mike D. I mean, I think you have to have a certain Fargo to even be considered.
Yeah,
right.
So right now, worldwide, that would be that there's maybe 6 women in the world that would, I don't know.
I don't know.
Play above what 740?
Yeah,
probably not even that. Right. So
yeah. I feel 2 ways. I like the idea of 1 woman on the team, but I think it also contributes to what I believe is there's a glass ceiling for women in pool that is almost self-dictated. And the proof is there's some women out there that have amazing Fargos, that are amazing players. I don't think gender has anything to do with how good you can get at pool, but
right.
it's,
I agree.
Right.
that I believe there's a glass ceiling. I don't know what's happening, but here in the United States, we're not producing as many high-level women as some of the Asian countries. You know, I don't know what's going on, but I believe it's a glass ceiling. So I just hate to do anything that contributes to that. If they want on the team, they should play better.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to make the team. You're not prevented from that, but you have to earn it just like everybody else does.
Of course, exactly.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, I think there's less environment that has like women playing pool stateside, where more so now as it grows. But I think that's the reason there's fewer women playing pool, so there's fewer women at that upper level. As soon as more of them are playing, we get them in the game. I think we're going to see it start to even out. I don't think I've made the argument for a while. What advantage is there for one over the other in pool, other than maybe height when you break at this point?
No.
And I don't even think that's true.
No, because the Filipinos are all short.
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
I don't see where there's any
I think the fact that there's less high-level female players could be argued that that's because of childcare and a bunch of issues, in a society kind of a way. So I'm not saying that, but I am saying there's a glass ceiling. We should be seeing a few pop up that aren't dealing with childcare issues, that aren't the breadwinners of the house or whatever. We should see a few popping up. I know there's things socially that make it harder it's just more common for the man to go out to league than it is for the woman. It's more common for the woman to stay home to watch the kiddos while the guy goes and plays pool league or does whatever. So I think that definitely has an effect, but we should still have some women popping up more into the 700s than we do, I believe.
We have a couple. I think there's one or two that are in the 800s. But yeah, I mean,
I believe it. It should be.
Straight up numbers. I mean, if they say there's 20 million people that play pool, I'm going to bet 75% are men.
Right.
So you got a lot less people that could reach that level.
I think it'll change over time.
So yeah, I mean, if you look at how many players are 800s in the world out of the 20 million, there's what, 20, 30 guys?
Right.
Well, and back to the junior thing, we don't do a lot for growing new people into pool, right?
No, we don't.
The pool community or not, it's getting into it is definitely a thing that doesn't happen that much. So the juniors thing is a huge push. I think that's a good place to put a lot of energy.
No, I agree. Rahan is doing a lot with that these days. No, I agree. The kids are where it's at.
Yeah.
Next.
I think one of this for me is,
I think Kobe's being quiet on
yeah. So, but with the team stuff, I kind of like the idea because we were talking. There's two things that we kind of focus on. Is the team was just you're bringing in new players, high level, whatever. You're just kind of putting together a team, and then building a team over the long haul. I kind of feel like you could do a combination of both those things, where you have the older generation Mosconi team that is your team that plays year after year. As players fall off or as you lose, you kind of reshuffle the team. And then do a junior Mosconi, which is your up and coming players. You kind of get filtered in and out through that, and get bumped onto the upper team, I guess. Do it what a varsity, and you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
That might be an approach to. I don't know.
I mean, we're looking at a Mosconi Cup, just Team USA. We're looking at USA players. We got 5 guys. Well, we got 4 guys picked and 1 more to go. I think we could put 4 or 5 more guys together that they could compete against. And all you're doing is taking the next 5 guys and making them better, right?
Right.
At least pick the damn team 3 or 4 months out, and then have the next 5 highest Fargos and go, okay, you're the backup team, and you play these guys a couple times at, whatever. At least we're not. We should do something.
I like the idea of
university.
It irritates me that we don't do anything for our athletes. It's
right. No, I agree.
Stephen Colbert, who famous, makes a shit ton of money and decided to back the U.S. speed skating team for the Olympics. You know, we need somebody like that for pool.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so that you can develop. I mean, it's the same thing with all teams. You don't have great teams without, you know, money being spent in training and shit. We're not doing any of that for pool.
Right.
No, I agree.
Well, that would help
Someday.
solve having the alternates problem too, because if we've taken 9 or 10 people 4 months ago, and this whole group of 10 people have all been training together, we're only taking 5 of them. We got 5 more badasses over here just waiting for a chance to,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I mean,
Guys, I gotta go juggle kids.
You got to do what?
I gotta go juggle kids.
Oh, dude, that's
Didn't that hurt your arms?
Just...
All right. Well,
yeah.
I think it's a pretty good first episode there. Even though
I like it.
We're supposed to be the first episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna make some notes. We're gonna take a second.
Well, we could look. We could jack this all up and in a couple of days do introductions and then just.
Oh no! This is much fun.
No, I think we should be
I
talking.
like the idea to edit it together, man.
But I really think, the episode 3 that we're not ever going to post out, we need to reference that as much as possible, just to make the internet search all the depths of the internet and every dark corner they can find for this episode that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's our guys, man. They're like,
perfect.
Next week we're gonna do it on the bridge.
Yeah, right now it's next week. We'll do an episode where we introduce who the hell we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, no,
Check out episode 5 where we tell the truth about all of y'all.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think it was pretty good conversations. So
I like it.
So we're gonna do this. This is gonna be a once a week deal, twice a week. What are we doing?
Well, I'd like to build a couple of episodes and then we can get those out. But I'd like to get where you got enough recordings that if something happens and we got to miss a week, then we have something we can throw in there.
Right, because
that makes sense.
I don't think everybody listening is gonna understand that we run tournaments, we travel a lot, so there's gonna be some weeks and sometimes 2 weeks in a row or more that we can't just stop what we're doing and record a podcast. So we might have to bank 2 or 3 more generic topics that aren't time dated. So we're gonna have to get some of those stocked up for holidays and while we're working. Okay.
That's one thing I want a list of broad topic like things, and then I put in the thing. Like referee stuff, we can pull together a bunch of shots videos, right?
Top 10 bad calls.
Yeah, and
Kenny, I feel like what we need is almost like a meeting agenda kind of a list, just a bullet point list of topics that we just kind of check off. And I was telling Rick too, I think some sort of time limit for each topic so we can be shooting for an hour too,
Yeah.
I think always if we run over, then we can either if we have the discussion on the ones we're recording, if we run over and everybody's cool with it, maybe turn it into 2 episodes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I say we keep it at an hour ish, and then it's always plus or minus 15, 20 minutes. And if you don't like it, sorry about your bad luck.
Yeah, no, and I think there's a huge space for content in that range.
And it just seems like all of us are bad boys, and too much structure, one of us or all of us are going to start to rebel against it.
Right. Yeah, we're not about that. Sure. When is the Northwest Cup?
The 19th.
So we
November 19th.
On that before that.
That's what it is, the 19th.
Yeah,
so I think
our next episode should...
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, I agree.
If we can get
I got the banner.
Yeah, see if we can get Lippman in too. So we need to try to schedule that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I would like to save up a few, but we need to get out one before the Northwest Cup. I mean, if you want, we could do that live.
Hey, hold on.
Because maybe we get Oregon there chatting with us or something in the chat room.
Hold on,
that'd be cool.
Stop. Everybody, like, say bye so I can quit recording, and then we'll have this conversation.
See you guys later. Thanks for watching.
All right, see ya. All right, guys, that was the end of our first episode. We want to know what you guys think, so hit us up with some comments. Get on our Facebook page at Bad Boys Tournaments and more, and give us some feedback. And shout out to all of our sponsors, Diamond Billiards, OBQs, Hustlin' USA, and Littman Lights. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. We appreciate the support.